All right, so Troy head coach Jon Sumrall has officially been named the next head coach at Tulane to replace Willie Fritz, who took his talents to Houston. So today we're going to be looking at a few coaching candidates that could be interested in the Troy job, that Troy might be interested in, and pretty much just 5 names to watch in this coaching search. Now, this did just come open a few hours ago, so this is a very, very early list. Obviously could change. But Sumrall has made the Troy job much more appealing than it was when he got there. Not saying it was bad, but he's had this team rolling. He's only had 4 losses over the last couple of years, single digits, pretty impressive stuff. Great hire by Tulane, first off. But let's go ahead and talk about these candidates, shall we? All right, so first off, Greg Gasparato, Troy defense coordinator, current interim head coach. So when I make these early lists here like this, I kind of like to see what coordinators have ties to this school that, may have some interest in coming back home, so to say, but really trying to keep it within the circle. A lot of teams like to hire within their own circle, kind of hiring guys that have been there before, that have had success. And so that's kind of what we're looking at here in these 5 candidates we have today. But like I said, Greg Gasparato, Troy defense coordinator, interim head coach. So they named him the interim head coach. So that's obviously a step in the right direction already. And then they've been down this road before as far as promoting from within and promoting a coordinator, a DC. They've done this before at Troy. So why not Gasparato? Let's say they win the bowl game. Hey, you're the guy. Try to keep what you can of the team they currently have before all the guys enter the transfer portal, and maybe go to Tulane as well and try to keep this team afloat, so we can win the Sun Belt again. All right, but the main guys I want to look at are these 3 guys in the middle. These are the guys that kind of have my interest as of right now. First off, Shiel Wood. All right, so he's been the Tulane Tulane defense coordinator, but reports are saying that he's going to Houston to follow Willie Fritz, his head coach. Also, before he went to Tulane, he was the Troy defense coordinator. So there's obviously ties here. And I've seen online some former players kind of pushing for Wood to get the job and throwing his name out there. Now, like I said, it's been reported as of today. They were kind of waiting to see what happened with, Tulane hiring a new coach before their OC, before their DC, Nagel and Wood announced what they were going to do. But whenever they hired Sumrall today, both the OC and DC said, all right, we're going to Houston. So as of right now, he's with Houston, but I don't think that completely eliminates him from this job because he could still have interest in going here, and going back to the school where he came from. All right, next up, Jordan Lesley, West Virginia defense coordinator, former Troy defensive line coach, also is a Troy alum. He graduated from Troy, so he's definitely going to have interest in the Troy program and making them better. And anytime you're a Group of 5 school and you can pull in a Power 5 coordinator, usually it's a solid hire. Usually that's a solid get if you can pull that. And like I said, he has ties as far as coaching there and graduating from there. And usually when that's the case, you want your school to succeed and you want to be the head coach of your alma mater. That's a lot of guys' dreams. And that's kind of what I envision Lesley is wanting in here. Sorry, I'm getting a spam risk call. I've got a million of these the past couple of days. All right, next up here, Al Pogue, current Missouri. Why can I not talk right now? Missouri cornerbacks coach, and he's the assistant head coach there. Formerly, he's been the Troy's cornerbacks coach. I've seen his name thrown around a lot as well, in addition to Wood and Lesley, as far as former players wanting them to go get this guy. Now, Pogue is the name I've seen the most out of all those players. They've been wanting Pogue to come back home and lead Troy to success. Now, Missouri has had a huge turnaround this year, offensively and defensively. Their coach got Coach of the Year in the nation. All right, so Missouri obviously is doing some things right. All right, and last but not least on this list, Joe Craddock, Troy offense coordinator, also been the OC at SMU, Arkansas, kind of followed with their coach Morris when he went from SMU to Arkansas as well. But so he's been an SEC coordinator as well before, had a lot of success as an OC at SMU previously before that. So definitely a name to keep an eye on there. So what we're going to do now, all right, we've gone through these 5 names. So pretty much now I'm going to try to eliminate and guess on who I think they're going to hire. All right, so let's go ahead and get into that here. All right, so first off, you got some pretty solid options here. I'm going to go ahead and eliminate Craddock, the Troy offensive coordinator. I don't think this is the direction they go, but you never know. Like I say, he does have SEC coordinator history, and he has history with being successful at SMU as an OC and obviously at Troy. So definitely a name that would be of interest, but I feel like they'll go a different direction, kind of finding a little more ties than that, you know. All right, so next thing I want to throw out here. All right, so these are all this is going to be pretty tough breaking it down because there's not a lot of, you know, stuff going on yet as far as, okay, this guy's interviewing, and so on. So we're going to go ahead and eliminate Wood. All right, I realize he has moved up the pecking order from Troy's defense coordinator to Tulane's defense coordinator, and Tulane has had a lot of success this year, arguably one of the best group of 5 schools, but so is Troy. And like I said, since he's already kind of announced he's going to Houston, I don't know if Troy could pay him as much as Houston's going to be able to pay him to be a coordinator, but I don't know. We'll see. Definitely a name to keep an eye on. All right, so next up here, I'm going to eliminate the current interim coach, Greg Gasparato, if I'm saying that name right. No offense if I'm not. All right, so definitely would be an interesting hire. He's already got, like I said, one foot in the door being the interim coach, but with having this option here of these other 2 guys, they kind of have a little more ties, and they've kind of got pushing from the alumni base. Like I said, former players kind of being like, all right, this is the guy we want. You know what I mean? So I think it's ultimately going to come down to Al Pogue, Missouri cornerbacks coach, or Jordan Lesley, West Virginia defense coordinator. So I think both these guys would be interested in this job, but do you take the position coach or do you take the coordinator? And that's kind of what it really comes down to here. Like I said, a lot of guys online talking about former players were pushing for Pogue from what I could see, saying like, hey, go call this guy now, go hire him before he gets hired by somebody else to be a DC. But he hasn't proven himself as a DC yet, so it's something about climbing that ladder sometimes, you know what I mean? So I don't know if they'd go that route or not. But my hiccup here is Jordan Lesley. Both of these guys have coached there before, but Lesley is an alumni from there. And usually that can play a role. Like I said, he's going to really, really want this job. You know what I mean? So I think ultimately, as of right now, first impressions, I'm going to say the hire is Jordan Lesley. But out of all these names, I really think it's going to be hard to go wrong with any of these guys. Probably be solid hires. But as of right now, like I said, I'm going to lean Lesley, West Virginia defense coordinator, former Troy D-line coach, and he's a Troy alum as well. Now, from now and then, a ton of names could come out, and if they do, we might have to do another list. But this is, like hours after the job has been announced is open. So as of right now, these are the 5 names that I think you should keep an eye on in the Troy coaching search, but maybe that's just me. All right, so do me a favor, down in the comments, out of these 5 guys, let me know who you would hire and who you think they'll hire, or if I missed a name that I'm not thinking of, if I'm blanking on. Like I know they've got the current ULM DC has been a Wyoming head coach before as well. He has ties to Troy, but I don't think they'll go that route because he was pretty bad at Wyoming. But if it's on this list, if it's not on this list, either way, let me know the name down in the comment section, who you would hire for the Troy job and who you think they'll hire. Let me know. Comment down below, like this video, and subscribe.